Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. This time it is a derivation video of the 3 Newton's famous equations, the equations of motions. These equations are universal in nature and are applicable throughout the universe without any exceptions whatsoever. We are going to derive each one of these equations as given there in the same order. The very first equation that we are going to derive now is v equal to u plus at. And before we go into this, I would like to say that these equations are basically in your high school level, your middle school level, and just in your grad school in the starting semesters. So if you are using this for your current semesters or it is coming for your upcoming exams, it will really help you, I hope. Now in books, many books have shown that using calculus we can find this out, but we can derive them without using calculus also, but still we will use some calculus when and if necessary, and I hope that we can minimize that as much as possible. Let's start. The first equations can be derived pretty easily just using the basic definition of acceleration. Well, let me show you what I'm talking about. Acceleration is actually change. Sorry, for my handwriting, I am not holding the copy and this lady is slipping over this glass surface. Change of velocity divided by time. Now in this time taken in the entire motion. Now if we say that the initial velocity of the body is u and the final velocity is v, we can say that it is actually v minus u by t, and acceleration is obviously a, so a is equal to v minus u by t. Now just to rearrange the equation, transfer t to this side, transfer u to this side, and you will get v is equal to u plus at. That's your first equation. We are marking it number 1. Now why we are marking this equation? We will need this equation to solve the next equation, s equal to ut plus half at square. You can pause the video right here and review this one once again and then continue for this next part. Next equations to solve. This equation is basically relating initial velocity, time, acceleration to the total distance traveled by the body. Now let us say that s is the distance traveled by the body in t time with an average velocity a. Now why we are considering it as average? Because velocity may change. Now in many books you can see that instead of using this concept of average velocity, they have used the concept of double integrating the s, d2s by dt square, and they have integrated this over a time period t to find it. But we will not use calculus. We have said that we will eliminate the use of calculus and then we will try to solve it with as minimum effort as possible. Let's continue. Average velocity is actually the distance, initial velocity initial velocity plus final velocity over divided by 2. We have considered that the body has only acquired 2 velocities. Okay, sorry, I have written this a, I am writing this avg, okay, because a we will use for acceleration concept. So I am just writing avg, the average velocity, as u, the initial velocity, plus the final velocity whole divided by 2. Let us just assume that in the entire motion the body has only 2 velocities. Alright, let's move on. Now the distance, we know from basic definition in motion classes that distance is actually equal to the velocity multiplied by the time the body has been moving. We have just got the velocity as this one, so just put that u plus v by 2 multiplied by the time. We have said that it has taken t time, so u plus v by 2 multiplied by t will give you the distance in your standard units, whatever the units may be. Now we are going to use the first equation. The first equation is v is equal to u plus at. Now we will use that concept, and instead of this one we will replace the first equation. So I'm just writing replacing v from equation 1, we get, there you go. If you replace that one, you will simply find s this one distance is s. Okay, this distance is s equal to this one, and now we are replacing that one. S is equal to u plus, in place of v we will write u plus at by 2 multiplied by t. You solve this one, and at the end you will get ut plus half at square. Okay, this one right here is equation 2. There you go. Again, pause the video, go through the entire part, and if you have any trouble throughout the entire video, just leave a comment. I will try to help you as much as I can. Now it's time for the last equation. Alright then, the last equation is basically relating the final velocity, the initial velocity, the acceleration, and the distance traveled by a body. This is simply just using the above two equations in a manner that we can arrange them, and we will get the last equation. The last equation will be obtained as follows. Just from the first equation, if you know, we have obtained v equal to u plus at. Now write the equation in terms of t. Just like v equal to u plus at, and just put t, and you will get v minus u by a. That's it. In the second equation, if you see, we have got this one initially. S is equal to u plus v by 2 multiplied by t. You write that down. Now instead of this t, you just plug in this one, v minus u by a. Plug in. Once you have plug in, you will got this as the final equation. 2as is equal to v square minus u square. Rearrange the entire equation, and you will get v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Some interesting fact about these three equations that we solved today. They were derived by Newton and was presented in his famous paper, the Principia Mathematica. These equations are universal in nature because, unlike certain other equations in physics, including resistivity, conductivity, and magnetism, even the great black hole theories and general relativity, because you should know that the general relativity theory ceased to exist in singularity. But these equations are called the universal law of land because they will exist throughout any planet in the entire universe. Doesn't matter whether it is Earth, whether it is Mars, whether it is Pandora, if any planet is there, so, but it will exist there, provided that you imply all the correct variables in the correct orders. You will always find your desired answer using these three equations. Well, I hope that I have helped you in some way, and thanks. See you soon.